Hello, Brad here, just to say we're super proud that the Friday 5pm podcast is sponsored by the Malt Miller, the UK's best home brew store.
We use the Malt Miller for all of our homebrew experiments, as well as tapping them up for advice and binging on their awesome YouTube channel all the time.
That's why whenever we release a homebrew video, we put a recipe kit live on the Malt Miller, so you can brew with the exact same amazing ingredients that we did. The same ingredients used by pro brewers.
So alongside the Malt Miller's nitro-flushed hops, cold-stored yeast and milled-to-order malts, you can pick up recipe kits for our 5 Points Best Bitter, Russian River West Coast IPA, and now the fastest beer in the world, a hazy session IPA that goes from grain to glass in less than 48 hours.
Sign up to their newsletter at tinyurl.com/Malt Miller to get 5% off your first order. With the Malt Miller's amazing customer service and Johnny's 48-hour recipe, you could order the ingredients on a Monday and be drinking the beer by the weekend.
Speaking of which, it's Friday.
It's 5pm.
So enjoy this week's Friday 5pm podcast. It's Friday, it's 5pm, you've made it once again to the 30 minutes of unedited nonsense that is the Friday 5pm. We are actually recording this, literally the video for this week has just gone live. We are watching the initial comments roll in, the initial criticisms of the way we've pronounced stuff, just filling up my timeline right now because it's Bradley's 40th tomorrow and he's going to Barcelona.
Barcelona. Yeah, I'm going to pronounce stuff terribly when I'm in Barcelona as well.
Pretty much our modus operandi, right? Just talk about other nations and get stuff wrong.
Yeah. But it comes from a place of love. Like, we love Germany, so...
Affectionately unresearched.
Yeah. Plus, I'm I was playing the lovable idiot as usual. And I was half tanked as well, so, dancing ensued. Fishermen's outfits were worn.
You know, from the beginning of that, I thought it was going to get more off the rails than it did. I mean, the mackerel bit was ridiculous, and a lot of the Hoff stuff had to go just because, not because it wasn't funny, not because it was offensive, maybe some of it was, but because we talked about the Hoff for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, like about 12 minutes of Hoff chat.
Oof. I mean, he is a spectacular specimen of a human being, isn't he? Let's be honest. Doesn't he live in Wales or something now? He married a Welsh girl, right? A few years ago.
I have zero idea.
About 30-year-old attractive Welsh lady, I believe. Blonde lady.
Right, sounds about right. Wasn't he an alcoholic? That's the only thing I know about him.
Yeah.
Or is an alcoholic?
There's a famous video of, drink sensibly, everybody. There's a famous video of him trying to eat a cheeseburger off of a floor, but it's all just smushed on the floor, and someone's shouting at him. It's not funny. It is funny, but it's not funny. Someone's shouting at him and telling him I think it's his daughter, which is even more upsetting. How bad it is that he's his point in life where he's literally just.
Oh, in my head, the person was egging him on. Go on, get that book right. Okay. Oh, so it's a very bleak video.
I think it's a pretty traumatic family thing where they put it out to sort of shame him, basically.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up. Brilliant. So that's the Friday feels people come to this podcast for.
I think what happened, Johnny, was he got shamed and then he moved to Wales. That was the end of the story, right? So
right. Well, I haven't heard from him in a while. Not he usually calls me on a Friday, but he doesn't seem to do so much anymore. So maybe he's just enjoying the quiet life in Wales.
He hasn't been visiting my dreams so often either.
Visiting your what?
He's in my dreams, Johnny.
Did he used to?
I don't know. I mean, I liked Knight Rider. That was pretty fucking cool when I was a kid. That was ace. As you said, I'm 40 tomorrow. So I enjoyed Knight Rider. I very much enjoyed Baywatch, but probably not for
David Bradley.
Hasselhoff.
Yep.
And look, man, he's no Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell is my probably hero as a sort of kind of action man, cool actor dude. He's in some of my favourite cult movies. Love that man. But the Hoff's pretty cool. He's kind of like Patrick Swayze level cool.
I just want to point out to people at home that this is how I ended up having to cut 12 minutes of Hoff chat, because Brad clearly feels strongly about the Hoff and all remotely related actors that are also doing nothing anymore. You know?
Dudes with mullet. I've just sort of named guys with mullets there.
Yeah.
I just realised. But they're all pretty cool. They're like
maybe you
80s.
just like mullets. Maybe you should have a mullet.
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of got a mullet if I'd sort of just push it back.
That's not what a mullet is. Half of the mullet is commitment. You can't just push it back and go, "Oh, look, it's a mullet." You've got to get rid of.
Got to chop that.
Yeah.
All of the fun off the top. It's party out back, business up top, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was looking at photos of the World Child Mullet competition in America.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, of course
back.
You were.
Did we talk about that in a video? Did I send you those? I can't remember.
No, this is the first time I've heard of it.
Oh, right. Sorry, just to go on another tangent. The World Championship Child Mullet competition in America. I can't remember where it was in America. Just Google that. The kids' names are incredible. They're like Captain Justice or something. Like, they got ridiculous names. Pizzazar.
How is
Hercules.
this? How is this judged?
By mullet people that judge. They're not judging their names; they're judging the mullets.
No, I realise that it's not the name competition. Yeah, but
no.
What do you mean they're judging the mullets? What makes a good mullet? Is it
Well,
like
I'm not a mullet judge, but I presume it's the maximum party out back and the maximum business on top.
Because
right?
I don't know. Like when I judge beer.
Yeah,
and people sit down for like the wit category, and they all sit down. This happened to me. I was I was captain of a table. Everyone sat down and was like, "Oh, I don't really like wit beer." I feel like that's probably what happens at the mullet competition. It's just like, "Oh, I've got the mullet category again," because nobody respects the mullet, do they? I mean, I'm not respecting any of the kids on this thing I've found.
People absolutely respect the mullet. This is America, mate. This is deep rooted in certain parts of culture in America. Have you Googled it? Are you looking at?
Yeah,
some of these?
I'm looking at a kid who's got quite a luscious, slightly wavy mullet, and then on the side of his head is shaved, well, nearly the American flag, but they clearly only had the time or maybe the talent to put 9 stars in the corner. Yeah,
one of them's called Epic. He's from Texas. Another one's called Rustin. From Pocahontas, Arizona. Rustin looks about 4 years old. I don't know how old Rustin is.
There's a kid called Max here that would definitely have bullied me at school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's definitely... I don't know, man. I feel like if you've got a mullet, you're probably doing the bullying. I don't know. It's a strong look. I think you'd get pretty tough pretty fast if your parents cut your hair into a mullet.
I think Cash from Ulysses, Kentucky, he got tough pretty fast.
Katchin, there's one called Katchin.
Because he's redheaded as well.
Dason, Ridge, Cash. These are very strong names. Very strong names. Eli, Levi. That's basically the same name, just sort of like rejigged. Mate, Lincoln, Axel. Oof. These names.
I think I know what band the parents were into. I just hope they don't know how that name was made up. Because you won't have a kid that way. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Is that right? Is that where he got his name from? I believe it was, I can't remember what the word is. The jumbled up letters of oral sex, I think.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I was thinking this has been a filthy, silly podcast. Bradley, can we please get back to the video? I want to stop looking at children with mullets.
Yeah. I was thinking of like a car axle, like the sort of rear end or something. I thought you were going down that sort of way. He is known as a fancier of dolphins, isn't he, old Axel?
Dolphins?
Apparently he likes dolphins.
What?
I didn't say that. Other people have said that, Johnny. Apparently he's a dolphin fancier.
You're not going to get out of the lawsuit that way, Bradley.
I don't know what
it's still slander if you're spreading other people's.
Oh shit. Well, I don't know. I've heard someone's called Axel that likes dolphins anyway. Should we move swiftly on? But did I say it's my 40th birthday? I'm glad we're still talking nonsense.
Yes, I was trying to steer the topic to cool places to drink in Barcelona, but somehow we've ended up looking at children with mullets.
Yeah.
Oh God, what is our career? So
great,
you're going to Barcelona. It's a great beer town as well as a great wine town.
Right.
Where are you looking forward to going?
I'm going to Garage Beer Co. I won't be going to Brewdog Barcelona, that's for sure. Although I have been there many years ago, and they did buy me they gave me the strongest beer they had for free because they recognised who I was, which was nice. But yeah, there's, like you said, there's plenty of great places to eat and drink. I did notice my favourite Hamburguesa restaurant chain over there is closed down, so I won't be getting any late night Hamburguesa, which is very, very sad.
That's a real shame.
But my favourite tapas / carver drinking place near Barcelona Beach is very much still open. La Champaneria, although I'm not sure that's how you say it, because it's spelt with an X, not like a CH. It's like Exampaneria or something. But it's great. You buy a drink and you get a lovely little bit of the tapas on the side for free. While
you're in that area of town, make sure you go to Bodega Fermin.
Oh yeah,
which is
what do I find there?
Craft beer and tapas. It's like a little. It's not a dive bar. It's very nice inside, but it's just like 8 taps of great beer and then amazing, mostly like delicious bread with toppings, which will lead us on to the video in a bit. I did an article for Good Beer Hunting on them, and also if you can get in, the Cerveceria. What was it called? Cerveceria del Vaso de Oro. That's the one.
Oh yeah.
Which only serves, I think, 1 beer and amazing tapas, and there's only like 10 seats. I don't think I've ever managed to actually go, but it's supposed to be amazing and old school, like an institution of Barcelona.
Maybe I'll go at like 11 a.m. when it's raining, because apparently it's raining some of the time. I'm only there for like a day or two, but apparently it's going to be raining.
Huh, give it a go.
Yeah, I've got a rooftop swimming pool, mate, in my budget hotel.
Oh,
done all right. Yeah, done all right. Okay. Got a rooftop swimming pool. Flying on a Spanish airlines I've never heard of before. Very early flight in the mornings. Hoping that I think if there's ever a time to be justified as drinking a pint in a Wetherspoons at an airport, it's on your 40th birthday, right?
So I think just being in an airport is justification enough for a Wetherspoons pint.
That's the only times we will really drink in a Wetherspoons.
Yeah.
But yeah, in an airport, anything goes, right? Apart from, when it comes to drinking in a Wetherspoons, not anything goes. Pretty much nothing goes in an airport.
It's pretty strict actually. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You're not even allowed remotely sharp knives, are you? No steak restaurants in.
No, none of those.
No, can't be. Anyway, yes. So I hope you have a love. Oh God. Okay. Yeah. Go on.
No,
I was going to move the pod along, but that's not really our vibe, is it? To keep things moving.
I was going to say, talking of strict rules, Johnny, those Germans with their rules about Oktoberfest, quite strict, aren't they?
Nice. Yeah.
Nice.
So this week's video, the one that we're literally still watching the comments roll in, I'm seeing more come in as we speak, was all about the 6 official beers of Oktoberfest. So if you weren't aware, only 6 breweries can actually pour on the Weizen, which is what that's what the locals call it, the Weizen, and Theresa Weizen is the place where it's held. And we drank the six official ones, which doesn't sound like a lot of beers, but all of them are pushing 6%, and one of them's extremely hard to get hold of because they don't really sell it outside of Munich. So we were quite lucky to get them all together and had what I think it comes across in the video, quite a nice time.
Yeah, it was great, man. I had a nightmare getting home from that shoot. It took me 3.5 hours on trains to get back from you, when it normally takes me about 1.5 hours.
How many of the beers I gave you did you crack on that?
None. I didn't crack any of the beers. So I was just feeling a bit sorry. I was stood on platforms for like hours. I was feeling very sorry for myself, and it was cold, and I hadn't really wrapped up warm enough. I bought a terrible soft baguette that was in like cellophane. It was very, very soft.
Oh no,
and
you
chewy.
didn't. You didn't go to the little cafe at the station near me.
Stevenage. No,
Oh,
the one in
God.
Stevenage.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah. So that was that. I felt really sorry for myself, basically. Why have I gone down this dark?
I don't know. You never take the
go
turning
somewhere.
that's open to you.
I was going somewhere with it, Johnny. Oh, mate, it took me so long to get home that I actually had my hangover on the bloody train. Like, I had a headache. I felt like I was hungover on the train. And this like frigging soft baguette thing, I was so hungry that I just had to like eat it, but it was rubbish. It made me feel a bit unwell, and combined with the headache and the subpar baguette, I just felt really sad.
I don't think this is what the Friday 5 p.m. has come for, to hear about your tiny little hangover after drinking 6 bottles of beer, but only half of them.
Well, maybe it wasn't the beer. It might have been the terrible sandwich in the 3.5
or the lack of
commute.
pretzels, probably. That's probably what
lack
did
of
it.
pretzels.
Yeah,
that was it.
should have
that
had
was
pretzels. But yeah, so we had a wonderful time doing it. It absolutely got away from us, but the edit, I think, nearly reined it back in. I heartily recommend trying to get hold of all of the beers. We do pick out our favourites. I won't spoil it here, but those 3 that were our favourites are absolutely bloody lovely, and thankfully 2 of them are extremely available in the UK at the moment. So I suggest, because they're not even that they're pretty keenly priced, so you could have yourself quite a wonderful little Oktoberfest at home. And it's not too late. The real Oktoberfest just ended. It ended on Sunday, but there's still, if you go to Aldi, you can get the sausages. I think they're selling some of the beers at dirt cheap, if one of the comments is to be believed. So I heartily recommend doing that for a little bit of October fun. What have you enjoyed from the comments that we've seen rolling in so far, Bradders?
So David Ellis, I'm pretty sure we've read comments from David Ellis before, but he said about this video, it encompassed a history lesson, a sing-along, a German language lesson, and a Stein's amount of infotainment. He exclaimed, "Brilliant." Thank you, David. Thank you, David.
Thank you very much indeed.
Yes. I thought it was... I think he's right, you know? We all learned kind of how to sing that song. I hope everyone enjoyed me with my gaff at the beginning, where I say, das is Oktoberfest, which means that is Oktoberfest, I believe, which is wrong. This should be this, right?
Pretty much, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, yeah. I enjoyed that. I also... I had a lot of fun putting the translations on and stitching you up a little bit with those.
The hair something. What was the hair thing you wrote at the beginning?
The hair canoe. Yeah.
Hair canoe. Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed the slow motion swilling as well with those new Sony cameras, mate. Boom.
Yep.
Looks
great. That's Asahi money. What was that? Thank you.
Real nice.
So I enjoyed somebody. The Potato Boy said the unbuttoning's getting ridiculous, which I was like, wait, he wasn't unbuttoned, and then I realised it was a joke about how you were just wearing a jacket with a jumper underneath.
Yeah, it was a pretty sexy jumper. No, that's my chest, Johnny. That's what my chest looks like now.
Do you know, actually, while we're on this vague topic, so that's what so it's already knitted. We've taken your chest hair and knitted it into a jumper.
Yeah.
While we're on the topic, so last week I talked about how I got my first positive comment about my fashion sense, and then nary a day later, somebody commented on me putting on weight in the comments. So damn. I've got to stop bigging myself up.
You're looking very slender. I look very much.
Well, I mean, I don't think I am. That's why it cut to the core. You know, new dad, working very hard on documentary. It's got away from me. The tennis isn't quite trimming the fat. Where was I? I had a lovely comment, not a lovely comment, an interesting comment, and I've lost it.
It was Class, wasn't it? From Class.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, so here Class was picking up on the conversation about why Germans are so good at brewing at scale. And what he said was the fact that there are giant German breweries that produce really good beer is probably the reason neither craft beer nor home brewing is big in Germany, which I 100% agree with, because it was the same in the Czech Republic, although the Czech Republic has sort of really sped and caught up a little bit. But if you've got a great brewing culture already, why would you embrace what these Americans are up to? And obviously the UK had a wonderful traditional brewing heritage as well, but it was very much in decline. Whereas I don't know whether the German lager drinking and Weiss beer sort of culture ever was, and in the Czech Republic it certainly wasn't. But he goes on to say, I'm German, I do home brewing, and I like craft beer from time to time, but you get good quality beer here fairly cheap almost everywhere, which I think is a really interesting point, because Germany, I think, has the lowest duty rates, tax rates on alcohol in the EU. And I think that what that means is that breweries can put all of the cost of the beer into the ingredients, into the processes, rather than, in the UK, because there's such a high duty rate, at least half of what you pay over the bar is tax going directly to the government. You're not actually paying anybody that's made the beer or the ingredients that go into it. It means that maybe the overheads and the margins are much smaller in some of these countries, whereas in Germany they've allowed for that. They allow for that great respect to be given to the beer, and I think that's probably a large part of it.
When you put it like that, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Really, they're not taxing away the ingredients, the flavour, the kind of what they can afford to pay their staff and everything else. All these things, happy people make happy beer, and obviously everything else that goes into it. The reverence they have for that industry over there, and not taxing the life out of it, has meant that it's survived through the centuries. Yeah,
whereas, I think it bears out at the other end as well, because if you look at the nations that have really strong home brewing and craft brewing, modern craft brewing kind of scenes, you look at Norway and Sweden, which have incredibly high tax, and zero local beer culture really. And Norway, you have the farmhouses, you have really old school, very niche things, but none of that real tradition. Whereas and kind of true of Ireland as well. I think you've got Guinness, you've got this love of dry stout, but outside of that, there's not a lot of culture to it because the tax is so incredibly high in Ireland as well. So, and then in the States, tax is pretty low again. Actually, that doesn't quite make so much sense. Thinking about it, maybe it's just that craft beer is so cheap over there as well, because you can, the beers that we're paying £7 or £8 for a tin in the UK, you're paying half that in dollars in the States. So, don't underestimate tax. People say politics doesn't belong in beer, but it actually is literally governing the price and availability of everything that you drink. I've taken it down a dark turn there, Bradley. Apologies. That was my bad.
That's all right. I wonder why do you think the States is a bit of an outlier in being such a craft driven nation? Do you think it's they've got it's that kind of thing where anyone can be anything in America, right? It's a land of opportunity.
Well,
that inspires sort of people.
There's a bit of that. There's then the low taxes, then the fact they have all the modern hops that did completely change the face of beer. I think it's sort of a mix of all of those, and then I think you've also got a lot of people that want to drink those beers, whereas in the UK, I don't know about American overall alcohol consumption, but it's certainly going down in a lot of European countries. I don't know whether that's quite the same in the States. It might well be, but I don't know for sure. Maybe it certainly wasn't back in the 70s and 80s when craft beer was really taking off. I've just seen that this is our most watched video in the last 10 for the first hour. Yeah, so people are enduring the intro and getting through to the meat of it and enjoying it. So that's quite exciting. So there we go. I hope you like the thumb as well. We're working really hard on our thumbs at the moment, and I think it's paying off. We're looking quite stylish at the moment.
Yeah. Well, these ones are... the one coming next week is that coming next week? That's going to be good. Yeah. Are you allowed to trail that a little bit? I think you said about it a little bit earlier.
I think so, yeah. So next week, we're keeping with the Oktoberfest theme. I am doing another Beer Geek episode in which I taste 14 UK brewed fest beers to see if they can reach the quality of the Germans. And then, of course, I put in a little stooge, so Paul Arna's in there as well to trip us up. So yeah, that's next week. It's got a great thumb, and hopefully we'll do as well as the other beer geeks and be as entertaining. But it was, I have to send a photo of the beers to Bradley to make the thumb. And after I'd had 15 Oktoberfest beers, the photo was a little bit squiffy.
I mean, it was like on the wonk, mate, proper, big time. You sort of like looked at the beers from the front and then stumbled sideways and maybe snapped as you were falling over. It was challenging to sort of rearrange all of the beers in the thumbnail. But yeah, it was good fun.
Bradley got the job done. Yeah. Yep.
Can't wait to see the video, mate.
I've
realised we haven't even sort of talked about what's going on this weekend and the fantastic deal we've got.
We haven't. So this weekend is BrewCon, which is the UK's homebrewing expo. I am the keynote speaker, first on, warming people up. I don't think most people will have arrived by the time I'm on stage, but I'm giving a talk on seasonal brewing and why it's important in both professional and home brewing. And then I will be running a stand full of Craft Beer Channel merch, and we'll be sampling the Now IPA that we brewed in the meantime as well. We've got some cases of that, so you can have a try of it. We'll also be launching our home brewing competition, in which we're asking homebrewers to brew their interpretation of modern British IPA. So we'll be giving all of the details on that tomorrow and how to enter it. And releasing that link as well in our Patreon forum and on social and all that kind of nonsense on Saturday. If you are free on Saturday and you fancy come down, you don't even need to be a home brewer. Like it's hosted at Hackney Brewery and at Wildcard Brewery, which are across the road from each other. So it's basically like just going for a brewery crawl. And we've got discounted tickets. If you use the phrase "kapow" at checkout, you'll get 25% off your £15 ticket. So that's Kapow, K-A-P-O-W. Yeah, K-A-P-O-W. And you can also... No, scrap that. I was about to say you can enter a competition, but the competition will have closed by the time this podcast goes out. So ignore me. I'm still singing like we were in the Oktoberfest thing. I don't quite know why. So yeah, come along on Saturday. It's in North London. It's going to be great fun. Come say hey. Come buy some merch from us or books or whatever, or just say hi and taste the Now IPA. Yeah, that's all we've got to say. I'm actually on holiday next week, so there will be a video, but there will be no Friday 5 p.m. next week. Yes. Humble apologies to you all for that, but we'll pick up on that upload and the upload that follows it in the following Friday 5 p.m. So yeah, I hope you guys all have wonderful weekends and wonderful weeks. You'll see me doing a blind taste test on Wednesday, and then hear from us again the next Wednesday when I believe we're going to be talking about cold IPA.
Oh, can't wait.
Always hot on the pulse of beer styles that came out about a year ago. Oh, yes. So till then, love and beer. The Bubble and Friday 5pm podcasts are brought to you by the nerds behind YouTube's Craft Beer channel. You can watch over 400 mini documentaries at youtube.com/the Craft Beer channel. And if you love what we do, support us via Patreon and get access to merchandise and our amazing Discord forum, a positive and welcoming space for everyone who loves beer, food, and homebrewing. Love and beer.